Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today, Masechtas Nazir daf Lamed Hey. We are going to begin on the very top of Lamed Hey and Aleph, the top line. So we were learning in the beginning of this parak that when it comes to the prohibition of a Nazir, it's not only that he cannot eat grapes, also when it comes to whether it's yavesh or lach, even when it comes to the wine or grapes itself. And we had a machlokas. Rabbi Lezer actually held that even the olin v'lulavin, even the shoots and the leaves are included, which is a machlokas. However, everyone holds that the shabishta, the branches, is not included. And we said that was based on whether you learn a klal prat or klal, or prat, klal prat or klal, or riboy or miut, and based on that would be the machlokas whether it includes again olin v'lulavin. However, we do include in the prohibition that which is gehorki, which is unripened grapes, as well as inve dichrin, wormy grapes, and Ravina included even the bein habinayim, which we saw the end on Tosos, which is actually on this Amud, that it could be referring to small grapes that are within a cluster of large grapes that are never seeing the sun because of that they never grow, but nonetheless they're also included. So Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah. So according to Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah, who again we cited his opinion in our Mishnah, Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah says in chayvad sheichel shnei chartznayim bezog. They only be chayv if you eat the two chartznayim, which are the seeds, and the zug, because the zug is like a bell, which is on the outside, which is referring to the peel. So, according to him, so pratam nole. So we were saying, we learned out that it's a prat, klal prat and klal, or whether it's a riboy. So it's all based on those extra words. But the question is, according to them, it's actually prat, klal, uprat, because it says mechartznayim yad zog is chazu parat. So it's prat, klal, prat, yatadan elokena prat, which includes pre, meforishma pre, psoilus pre, which includes the vinegar, as we said. Okay, so, but according to him, there is no second prat because he uses this drasha. The last prat is used as a drasha, so he can't use it as a prat, klal, uprat. So Savla Rabbi Lezer, the darsh miat v'ribo. So the answer is that he learns like Rabbi Lezer, that instead of it being a prat, klal, prat, he learns miat v'ribo. Okay. We look in the Mefarsh. We don't learn out this as a prat. The boy sayma. Alternatively, kurabanan. He holds like the rabbanan that he darshans klali prati, and even so, he says the Mefarsh v'afal gab the mashmalei mina. The leprata who the asa. It's still coming to teach you a prat. Why? The Isach hadaitach kidyam Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah. So lichteve rachman lahaymer chatznayim yad zog gabi prati. So then it should mention merchatznayim yad zog regarding the pratim. Umay hilchasa kasvi basar klal. So why does it mention it after the klal? Mention it as part of the pratim before. Shema mina limdini mechlal prat. So therefore, really, you could actually, according to this, learn out two things. You can learn out, again, that it has to be two pits in the seeds, but also, why does it mention the prat secondary? It must be after the klal, must it tell you that you darshan prat, klal, prat. Otherwise, wouldn't have just said it before. If we look in Taisus, Yim Taimer V'Dilma Islay Hamid B'Shum Makom Kihech the Rabban Lo Darshim Yad Vriba V'Kiyeshoymar The im kain havilan lachlik b'kol makom she'anu darshim kol prat b'klal. U'marvinin mahu riboy kain a prat. Okay, ein toisus. Ve'ema kuli hachudasa. So maybe it's only coming to tell you this whole notion of prat u'klal, but it's not coming to tell you about the chartznayim. So im kain lechnei rachmana o shnei chartznayim o shnei zogin. O chartzen v'zog gomai hachasa. Why does it say that way? Because rachmana v'chartznayim b'yad zog shema mina l'midrasha Bay call prat the ikadam l'mishra ad ika shnei chartznayim v'zog. So you can actually learn out both things from this. It's where it is, the fact that it was written after the klal tells you it's a prat klal prat. And again, secondly, the fact that it's written the way it's written tells you that that is the amount. Okay. For Rabbi Lezer, Darsh Miyad Variba, according to Rabbi Lezer, prat klal prat minole. How does he know this notion of, in general, a prat klal prat? So Amravo nafkali mahaikro. It learns that from a totally different din regarding the din of a shomer. V'chitin ishal reu chamor shamor oseh. So a person has these different animals to guard. That's a prat, specific animals. And then it says v'chol behema, any animal, which is klal, it's more general. Lishmor, to guard, which protecting and guarding a lot of things. So chazav a prat. So we have a prat called prat yatadon el kin a prat. So we can find this pasuk, or in its entirety, kitin el shre'ehu chamor shor seh b'chol behema lishmor umeis, and the animal dies, or nishmor, breaks a limb, or nishba in roa. So that is the din of a shomer, and that is how we see this notion of prat klal uprat. Rav Omer nafkali mahaikra can actually learn from a different pasuk, in which the entire pasuk is taken from the beginning of Sefer Vayikra. The im min hatzayin karbanai, that if you have from sheep as your carbon, min kavasim or min ha'izim, from again a lamb or from goats, la'ola zachar tamim yikravenu. So all of these are male animals. A carbon ola has to be an ola, it has to be a zachar. So it says v'im min, so it's prat, it has to be from a certain thing. Then it says hatzayin, a sheep, which is klal. Kvasim v'izim chazer uprat. So that's coming to be more specifically. So therefore, again, prat klal prat yatada no kin haprat. It says in Mefarish, kigoyin nevda behem aveira, kigoyin hachayrish b'shuva chamor u'v'cherish bo b'shabbos. So that's what it's telling you. Okay, so another element of learning it out from that pasuk. If you look in the very bottom of Taisus, klola riba shor habor de behema hu afal gab de rugel bin hachayos davi kein chayav hil hachi kashul carbon. Okay, fine. So iyatadel came at a prat. So amrulei Rabbi Huda mid iskarta. Well, Rabbi, he said v'leilov min dainkra. Why don't you learn out from this pasuk? From min, so the pasuk says, "Daber el bnei Yisrael v'marta lehem adam ki yakriv mikem carbon laHashem." When you makriv a carbon, very beginning of Sefer Vayikra, min a behema, min a bakar, min hatzayin takrivu es karbanchem. So why don't we learn out from this pasuk, and you can make the following drasha. Min again is prat. Ha behema, an animal's klal. Bakar v'tzon is chazav a prat. Prat a klal prat yatad elokein a prat. So you can learn out from that pasuk. Why are you learning out from the shomer or from the pasuk in Parak? They're both in Parak Aleph, and Sefer Vayikra one's in Parak Yod, pasuk Yod, one's this pasuk Bet. So I'm really minhai from this pasuk like kalamashmina. There's no way of actually deriving that this is an example of a prat klal uprat. Why? Di'ima hasam habamina. You made me think when it says the word habahema, which we're saying is a klal. Maybe when it says behema, actually as we continue to lamed ham and aleph, maybe lamed ham and base chaya b'chlal behema. So you would think maybe a chaya is in the category of a behema. So we're still 1 second. Chaya b'chlal behema haksiv bakar v'tzon. So it mentions a cattle and sheep. V'habilei prat b'klal. Yatadeno kena prat. So again, we're basically saying that you should be able to make this drasha. It says Taisus on the top, bitmia. Kloimer, hai behema lo matzas amrit dechaya b'chal behema. How can you possibly say that the behema is going to include a chaya, and therefore it's really inclusive? Dechsev bakar v'tzon biprat batra. It says animals, behemos, domesticated animals. Ukamo shiprata, batra. It has to be like the latter prat. Memait chaya. Right? And obviously it's excluding a chaya. Prat kamanami matziluhu lahabi demait chaya. The prat acharon megalarisha lemuti chaya. Oilam mahai kra nami iko medrish b'prat klal prat. So again, it's true. You could actually learn it out. Oh, you're gonna say, oh, you can't learn out that this is a prat klal prat because habehema is a klal. No, maybe it's just coming to tell you habehema is b'chlal chay b'chlal behema. So you're saying, it can't be because we already see these psukim that are obviously coming to say it has to be just like the klal batra, which is the prat basra, which is behemos. Okay. So Manon the Hachihu how do we know the Hachihu that this is in fact the case? Says Taisus Arabanakoi. The Darshi El Klal Pradu Klal Umar Bekain Prat the Kiboy Manon the Mida Zubatira Hainul Medrish Kain Prat. How do we know that that's actually what you're supposed to do? Is to learn Kain Prat. Decided. When a person should give all that which again is within your purview of that which you desire, klal. But Bakavatsain Vayan Meshechar, then it says specifically giving cattle, sheep, wine, old wine, prat. Anything in which your desire, klal, pradu klal, yataden looking at prat. So we see that this is a case of a klal pradu klal, and this is referring to Meiser Sheni. Umaha prat maforish prima pri, just like when it comes to redeeming Meiser Sheni, it has to be prima pri, a fruit. The geduli karka and also has to be something grows from the ground. I've called prima pri geduli karka. So look in the mafarish. This rabul who ophos, it comes to include birds. This maitil who dogim, however, it excludes fish. Why? Shein gedil and el karka, because they don't grow from the ground. Can mafarish mesach the perik. So, as we'll be seeing in shortly in my other cycle of Daf Yomi, that in Erevin we derive that when it comes to Meiser Sheni, you can only redeem it onto something which has these two principles. It has to be prima pri, something which produces fruits, and also it's geduli karka, which birds are considered something that comes from the ground, as opposed to fish, which are not considered to be gedil and al karka. So avkol prima prima gedil karka. So michti klal pradu klal kana prat daininon. A klal pradu klal, we compare it similar to the prat. Klal batra mayahani. So then, what's the whole purpose of the second klal? This is just general rules. So if you what is this purpose of the second klal? So hani, the second klal helps la sufi kol dedamule. It comes to include anything which is similar to it. Vesu, pratikal prat kana prat daininan pratabatra mai ahani. What's the purpose of the second prat? So you allow pratabasra. If it wasn't for the second one, having nasa klal moisaval prat. It would just be klal. It would be a prat uklal, and we say the klal comes to add upon the prat. Umichti train klali prati. If you have there's two klolim and pratim. The train prativ klali, and you have two pratim and klolim. Kain prata daininan. So my ika beni veni. What's the difference between the two? So ika di ika. There is the difference. The ilu tartin kloli uprati. When it comes to, in other words, two klolim, which basically means a klal pratu klal, ika prata the damile. If there is a prat which is comparable to it, afil b'chad sad marvinan. All you need to do is find something which is even similar in one area. That will be enough when it comes to a klal pratu klal to include it. However, trei prati v'klali, namely a prat klal prat, the ika prata dedami mishnei stadim marvinan, b'chad sad lo marvinan. In order for it to include, it actually has to be comparable in two ways. If it's comparable only in one way, then it won't work. So that's the difference between a klal prat and klal, is that the thing has to be similar to it in one way. Klal prat has to be similar to it in two ways. So again, it's a little confusing, but that's the difference between if the klal, then a prat, then a klal, as opposed to a prat, a klal, then a prat. So in that situation, the fact that it's written in that order, prat, a klal, then a prat, comes to tell you that in order to be able to include it, it has to be comparable in two ways. Michti. Prat v'klal nasa klal moisav al prat. If you have a prat and then a klal, so the klal comes and adds to the prat. Visravi kolmi includes things. Umiyat v'riva nami, when it comes to umiyat and riva, it's the same thing. Riva hakol visravi kol mili. So ma'ika bein miyat v'riva or prat uklal. What's the difference between the two? Ika. The ilu prat v'klal, when it comes to a prat and a klal, marvin and afil owen v'lulavin. It would come to even include those things. It would include the leaves and the shoots. Umiyat v'riva lulavin in owen lo. However, a miyat and then a riva, it would only come to include the lulavin, but not the owen. So that's the difference between a prat uklal. It will include more things. However, miyat and a riva, that only includes one thing. Okay, we're going to stop there. Let's look at a couple questions. Question 14. Ma yesh bein klal uprat uklal, well bein prat uklal uprat. Okay, so what's the difference between those? Between a klal prat and a prat klal prat, right? So again, it's the same thing, but one is first a klal, then the prat, then a klal, as opposed to first a prat, then a klal, then a prat. So klal prat uklal. So there's two klals on the inside, the first and the third. So marvin and kain a prat, we includes the prat. As long as it's comparable in one way, that's enough. However, prat uklal prat, marvin and kain a prat, rak didamilu mishteit stadim. Then it has to actually be comparable in two ways. Question TA 10. Ma mimatinan mechartznaim yad zagu rabbanon u'ma yolaf Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah mahachkra. So according to the Rabbanon, it comes to exclude olin v'ulavin. Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah says we learn out from there achiachol shnei chartznayim v'zog, which is what we saw actually on Amud Aleph. So this is TA 10. So based on, again, he actually learns out two things, but he learns out the fact that it says that is Shema Mina Lemedrish Be Klal Prat V'Ikanam Lemedrish Be Ad Sheichel Shnei Chartznayim V'Zog. That was question TA 10. TB 11. Meheichen Lomer Rosa Manazari Dino De Inu Chai Vad Sheichel Shnei Chartznayim V'Zog. So he learns, that's what he said. The fact that it says Mechartznayim Lashon Rabim and Zog is Lashon Yochid, V'Luksiv Shneim B'Lashon Rabim Mo Yochid. So the fact that it's written specifically that way must be coming to tell you that it's dafka if you have two Chartznayim, two pits, and one Zog, and one peel, then you will be chayav. Adkan.